Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to the ISE Equity Index Outlook for November 7th, 2011. This is Patrick Ceresna. As always, we start off with a chart of the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY. In October, we saw a historical 1 month performance on the upside as the market banged out a short-term bottom and reversed and rallied. And this week saw a much-needed market breather or a pullback on the downside after having exceeded some very important overhead resistance. At this juncture, it's very natural, obviously, for a market to correct after such an extended move. But we're watching this 118 to 122 box below. Really at this stage, even if we started this week with a little bit of selling and even came in and tested 122 or 120 on the downside, so long as the bulls contained almost all that selling pressure within those areas, at some juncture it would be very natural for the market to begin another leg higher. If we did start another leg higher this week, which and that doesn't necessarily have to start this week, but if and when the bulls hold that support and it reverses up, we could be targeting 130 to 134 on the upside for a push this week or two, and maybe by the end of November even a push as high as that 135, 137 to retest the previous highs. Nonetheless, it'll be very important this week to see whether the bulls continue to hold support lines and then subsequently start bullishly reversing the price action higher. Next here, I want to take a look at that ISE US Regional Banks Index, which is symbol JLO. Regional banks have made some substantial progress, having exceeded that 1950 overhead resistance that marked all the highs during that August and September consolidation. Really at this stage, what would be really positive for the bulls is just like on the S&P, contain all selling to very reasonable levels. The 19 level is going to be a pivot, but even if we temporarily saw a one-day drop down to, let's say, 1850 and then a trading a few days later back above 19 in itself would not be a bad thing. Overall, we want to see the bulls buying and accumulating short-term market weakness and then eventually them rolling it up. Once we have any catalyst that's construed bullishly, regional banks could make a move all the way back to the 22 to 22.5 area over the month of November. Next here, I want to take a look at the ISE index, which is symbol SIN. This is an index of all the casino, tobacco, and distiller companies as well. There's been a very nice, clean, solid reversal on the upside for the Sindex. Really at this juncture, what we're going to be watching is whether the Sindex consolidates down to about even as low as the 120 level. But just like we were suggesting earlier, so long as the bulls contain all selling and it's really contained to nothing more than a 1 or 2 week pullback, so long as the bulls roll it up off of that, we could see another very bullish push in the Sindex in the upcoming weeks. Next year, I want to take a look at the ISE Home Builders Index, which is symbol RUF, and the home builders have actually made some good progress as well off of their lows. So far, we've seen them only work their way back to retrace the entire loss of September. But really, so long as the bulls don't let that $6 area be ever given out in the next consolidation here, then we could also see a substantial low having been put in the home builders and the market subsequently recovering. Next year, I want to take a look at the ISE Natural Gas Index, which is symbol FUM, and the Natural Gas Index as well has made some substantial progress and recovering. Now is testing that overhead resistance around the 120, 123 area. Really at this stage, even if there's, again, short-term selling, it's very similar to all of our other outlooks, especially if we contain all the price action above 106 to 108, the bulls on these natural gas index should be able to exceed that high, and even maybe by the end of the year we could be retesting even the 135, 140 area on the upside. Finally, I want to take a look at that ISE Mini FTSE 100 index, which is symbol UKX, and we see overall that the FTSE continues to consolidate at or above that 535 to 545 support line. We had a temporary break above the overhead resistance, but really at this stage, just like the S&P, the FTSE has to do a little bit of backfilling and consolidation. If so long as the bulls contain also selling to the support lines, then the bulls should be able to make another push and actually gun for higher highs on the FTSE. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.